Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, Welcome to the promotion of Charles Noble and Joseph Williams to from Major to Lieutenant Colonel. So, quick housekeeping. I've already said it once before, but if you have not put your badge away, please put your badges away, as we do have video going, and also there's going to be possibly pictures later on. Um, for those who don't have visitor badges on, if you need anything, just go over there. Like, pull an ARE number, they'll take you to the restroom and stuff like that. So, that being said, I'm gonna begin by reading the bio of Lieutenant Colonel, or Major Promotable Charles B. Nolan. His career began in the United States Army in 2001 with his enlistment in the United States Army National Guard. He completed basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia, and AIT in Aberdeen Proving Grounds, Maryland. His early services was with the 36th 25th Maintenance Company, where he served from December 2002 to August 2007. This period included a deployment to logistical support area in Ghana, Iraq in 2004 and 2005 in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. He earned his commission through the Illinois Army National Guard Officer Candidate School and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Ordnance Branch. Upon completing the basic officer leader course, he returned to the 36th 25th Maintenance Company as a platoon leader and later served as an executive officer for Bravo Company 405th Brigade Support Battalion. In 2010, he became an assistant professor of the military science at Western University, Illinois, and Monmouth College. In 2014, he deployed to Kuwait in support of Operation Enduring Freedom as a deputy brigade S4 with the 108th Sustainment Brigade. Following this deployment, he held several key positions, including headquarters commander for the 206 Regional Support Group, officer S4 for the 206 RSG, and later for the 649 Regional Support Group. He was promoted to major in July 2019. His recent assignments include serving as a logistics staff officer and strategic plans and policy officer with U.S. Transcom. Lieutenant Colonel Lowell is a graduate of Air Assault School, the Ordnance Captain's Career Course, the Command General Staff College. He holds a Bachelor of Arts in History and a secondary education from Augustana College, where he graduated cum laude. Pretty big now. Yeah, graduated. His awards and decorations include Meritorious Service Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Reserve Components Achievement Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Iraq Campaign Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Service Medal, the Army Service Ribbon, the Reserve Component Overseas Training Ribbon, and Combat Action Badge. In his civilian capacity, Lieutenant Colonel Lowell is employed full-time with the Department of Army in Canton, Illinois, where he is the Army Reserves Administrator for the 236th Inland Cargo Transfer Company. He resides in Springfield, Illinois, with his wife, Dr. Jennifer Noble, his father-in-law, Jared. They have 3 dogs, Daphne, Bo, and Ben. Now, it's our first question, Roy, for the reading of Major Williams' thought.
Thanks, Sergeant Sproul. Major Joseph I. Williams joined the Illinois National Guard in 2001 as an enlisted light wheeled vehicle mechanic. In 2008, he commissioned as a second lieutenant from the Illinois Army National Guard's 129th Regiment Regional Training Institute Officer Cadet School, OCS. Major Williams continued to pursue academic excellence and obtained his first bachelor's degree in criminal justice and from Governor's State University in Illinois. His first duty assignment was the 3625 Maintenance Company in Crestwood, Illinois, where he served as a platoon leader. In 2009, Major Williams was detailed to the Ordnance Corps. After graduating from Basic Officer Leader Course, BOLC, and Ordnance Officer Basic Course in 2010, he served as a platoon leader and executive officer for Rowley Company, 405th Brigade Support Battalion. Major Williams has had several key developmental, broadening, and command assignments, including escort and brigade maintenance officer for the 404th Maintenance Enhancement Brigade, once located in Chicago, Illinois. While continuing to serve, Major Williams obtained 2 master's degrees. He holds a master's in public administration, received in 2012, and a master's in business administration with a concentration in supply chain management in 2014, both from Governor's State University. In 2016, Major Williams pursued a command position with the United States Army Reserve. He was selected to command the 733rd Support Maintenance Company in July of 2016, located in Canton, Illinois, and he relinquished his command 2 years later in September 2018. Following his successful command, he served as the Support Operations Plan Officer for the 310th Expeditionary Sustainment Commander, ESC. The 310th ESC was mobilized to Camp Arab John in 2020 to support the 1st Theater Sustainment Commander during Operation Enduring Freedom. Major Williams served as the Senior Plans Officer for the SPO while simultaneously working with the S3 Plans Officer in the Fusion Cell. Upon returning to the United States, Major Williams transferred to the 643rd Regional Support Group as an S4 Staff Officer. He served as an Executive Officer for the 380th Quartermaster Battalion located in Evansville, Indiana, prior to transitioning to U.S. Transcom Command as a Joint Petroleum Officer. Major Williams currently works as a civilian with the Chicago Transit Authority as a senior project manager for safety and security certification, assigned to the Red Line Extension Project, which is a $5.7 billion expansion project on the south side of Chicago. Impressive. Major Williams is a graduate of Engineers Captain's Career Course, Support Operations Course, Pre-Command Course, Intermediate Level Education, Advanced Operations Course, and he holds a Project Management Professional PMP certification. He has numerous awards and decorations for his achievements, to include ARCOM, AAM, ARCAM, and National Defense Medal. Major Williams is supported by his wife, located in the first row, Nisha Williams, and 2 daughters, Justice and Nyla Williams. Sir, thank you. Order.
Emmanuel, do you have some more remarks?
I do. Only about 3 hours off. So scrap it. That was a gift. Thank you all very much. I want to start by thanking the families that are here. The military is for team sport. I don't care if you're active duty, guard, reserve, none of this happens without you all. So every one of those medals that you hear about, they're actually yours. They get to wear them, but they are yours. My wife, she's been with me for 25 years. Got it right? You have to think for a second. This year, please tell her I didn't know that. But we have actually started dating 30 years ago, and this is my last weekend in the reserves, which will wrap up a full 30-year career for me. She's been with me for the whole thing. So we know as a family what this is like. Every week, I guarantee you're missing something right now. It doesn't fail. The hot water heater breaks, the air conditioner goes out, somebody's, like you say, boyfriend, maybe something happens over the weekend. I may have had that a couple times while I was away. But things always happen when we're gone. And even when we're home, we're not always home. Phone's always ringing, emails always have to get answered, so we're all busy doing other things. So thank you all for the support. They don't get to do this without you. So to the Army element that's here, thank you for being here. Celebrate one of your own, and to my team that's here, thanks for coming down. Chief Donnie, my senior enlisted leader, this is her last time with us. Also, she is also retiring, so that virus is catching over in the Air Force. Don't get too close, you may get it as well. Some of the families probably like, I'll make you one. But the fact that my team from the Air Force side is here, you got an old Air Force guy out here doing a promotion ceremony for 2 Army officers, it's special. And I'm looking at the insignias up here. And 2 of these used to be one, and that's the Air Force and the Army. That's how we started, actually. So short history lesson, I promise. But Orville and Wilbur, we started. It's taking a while, right? Let your battery. But in 1908, they flew the first powered airplane that had ever been flown, right? Within a few short years, the military is looking at that going, that looks super useful to us for all kinds of reasons. And so by 1921, we were absorbed into the Army, and that was the first Army Air Corps that started as the Army. After a little while, they started to introduce these things called long-range bombers and cargo airplanes and ISR and all this other kind of stuff. And they said, this is getting a little bit much for us to deal with. And so in 1941, we became a sub-department. And then by 1947, the Army said, this is a bunch of nerds. We don't want them in here anymore. And so that was when the separation actually happened. And we've been sort of separate since then, but we have always had this relationship, especially for me, that I love history. I have always felt close to the Army, and in the brief words I wanted to give, and any advice I can give to y'all as you're making 05, the shortest leadership speech I ever got in my life was from an Army 06, and it was blunt. I was a young captain, pilot, and if you don't think pilots are great, we'll tell you why we are. We'll change your mind. We tend to really like what we do and those kinds of things. And so myself and a couple other captains, we were at a thing, and we were standing off to the side talking about, I'm sure, how amazing we are, and you tell me how amazing I am, and all those kinds of things. And as we're standing there, all of a sudden I hear, I'm going to use the word that he used. I'm using a more polite word. He said, hey, idiots. He did not use idiots. He used very different. He said, hey, idiots. And we whipped around. We had not seen them, but there was Army 06 standing right behind us, listening to these captains mouth off about all these. And he said, you think this is about you? And then he said, it's about them. And he pointed at a picture like one of these. It was on a wall of a soldier coming over a sand road, fully kitted out, weapon ready to start shooting, moving, and communicating. And he said, it's about them. That reframed my whole outlook for the rest of my career in a very short period of time. And that was everything I've done in the Air Force has been about us. We are always the supporting force. We are rarely the support. And so we are often supporting y'all. But in my personal career, this is a little bit of advice I can give to you as you make this jump from 04 to 05, which is a big jump. It may not feel like it, but it is. It's one of the bigger ones. And the reason it's bigger is because your sphere of influence, if you do look back, is about to get much bigger than it was as an officer. And so there's responsibility with that. And the responsibility I would tell you is, it's about them, not about us. That makes sense. If you do that right, I promise you, the amount of texts and phone calls and emails you're going to get from all the wins that they get will far outpace any win you were in person. So that's my only advice for you. And don't forget, we are still your cousin over here in the Air Force. I'm not the same kissing cousins. I'm from Kentucky. That's right. we are still your cousin, and I love listening to your bios because there were so many places where I had connections with y'all. I served in Springfield, Illinois, the Air National Guard over here for about 4 or 5 years. The entire one side of my family, the Maggies, are from Evansville, Indiana, so I know Evansville really, really well. I grew up spending my summers on Gum Street there. And I can promise you, though, the places where we are not the same, just cum laude, that has never been said about me anywhere. And 2 master's degrees ain't ever gonna happen. First, I almost killed. So I'm super impressed. So thank y'all for letting me be a part of this. I think you as the families get to pin them next, so make sure sometimes you really gotta see that thing on the chest pretty firm. So make sure you do that. So I think that's what we're gonna do next. But thank y'all very, very much.
Would families like to join our soldiers as they're getting ready to leave the road?
Publish your order.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Army, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Major Joseph Irwin Williams and Major Charles Parker Noble. In view of these special qualities and have demonstrated potential to serve in the next higher grade, Major Williams and Major Noble are promoted to the grade of Lieutenant Colonel effective 16 October 2025, signed by the order of the Secretary of the Army.
I'm all done? Yeah. All right. That's the fun part. Now for the contract. I used to be able to do this from memory, but when you get in your 50s, and the radio glasses. Everybody in that can come to attention, so they'd like to stand as well. Ready to go? Raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Joseph Irwin,
Having been appointed a Lieutenant Colonel in the Army,
having been appointed a Lieutenant Colonel in the Army,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So all you got.
So all you got.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Colonel Noble.
Thank you, sir.
Williams, congratulations.
Lieutenant Colonel Noble. Here's some pearls. I would love to do some dance. So, the best legion of all time, the Gettysburg Address, was 263 words in the back, and then I don't think we'll be able to do that, but I'm aiming for 5 minutes. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone joining either virtually after the fact or in person. Most of you have been in Springfield, and my new transplant friends. For those in person, I brought a lot of dessert, so please don't be stingy. I didn't have to go late. For those attending Online, I have significantly less dessert, but no less gratitude. So thank you whichever way you're attending. On that subject, gratitude, my cross-country coach at Augustana once said that on the other side of every action is a person. In this case, on promotion, it's not technically true. In fact, there were many. Certainly as a brand new private back in October 2001, and I was so green I didn't even know when you walk in a national park armory, that's what they call it, that's in the house, take my head off. I never would have imagined that 24, almost 25 years later, I'd be getting pinned with Lieutenant Colonel, right? That was a little surprising name here, UB2. But in any case, without a lot of help on both parts, both Joe and I, we would not be here. So this is a big thank you to both this and the sorry, 5 months of getting that out. In any case, the first person I need to thank, Specialist Surveillance. I know you're going to be watching this. First, for telling me to remove my collar before the first sergeant did, but then second, for walking me around the armory, sorry, getting tripped up there. Telling me that not all of you are always like basic training. Certainly, thanks be to God, it's not. And also telling a terrified new private that it's going to be okay. Certainly, it seems like it does that. Next, to my parents, for giving me a swift kick in the butt. I was totally contented to be a long-term specialist. One deployment, 6 years, whatever. I was ready to have that be my military career, but they knew that I was meant for more than this. Granted, nothing wrong with being a wheeled vehicle mechanic. They knew that I could do more than just remote interventions. Thankfully, I have, and for that, I thank them. Next, General Rodney Boyd. You provided over my last promotion ceremony before this one, back in October 2012. It's been a hot minute. You told me you expected great things and that he was excited to see them. Meanwhile, I was thinking, well, this is going to be the last time I do one of these. Thankfully, he saw something in me that I probably didn't even see in myself. He is wise, patient, compassionate, and endlessly patient. And I'm grateful that he believed in me even when I didn't, because I was wrong. And here we are doing this again. I did Sullivan Major in May 2020. Actually, it was right during the height of COVID. I did Gen 5 days later, so it was quite a week. In any case, I was getting ready to Sullivan again, and then Lieutenant Colonel Williams, God, that's interesting to say, reminded me that this win is not ours alone. Without those kicks in the butt, without those kindnesses I mentioned and more, we would not be here. I know I said that before. Again, we're pushing 7 minutes now. If we swung the hammer that brought down the walls between where we were and where we got to today, realistically, our hands were not the only ones on the hammer. There were many people, certainly 5 at least in this room, that could have gotten us here, and many more that you've been watching this afterwards. Like, for example, Brigadier General Lovell, another mentor, who called me on a near weekly basis. I'm still impressed by that, to give me kicks in the butt to get me moving on I&E. I rode the struggle bus really hard on that one, and it was enormously helpful having somebody, especially that high up, was calling me to tell me, hey, you're not special, it's not that way. Get moving. Good work. Thank you, sir. Or the people I call on a near daily basis, my best friends, Joshua Montalvo, Billy Nitz, Chapman Sullivan, call from that investment I need to solve a problem, or find out an idea is a stupid one, or just vent about how awful my day was and usually is. Thank you, gentlemen, as well, for not turning to illegal drugs to get over my daily phone calls, but also for being I promise I'm joking, a daily source of wise and compassionate guidance. For Jerry, my father-in-law, for my wife, not only for welcoming me into your house and home and into your hearts, but also for letting me turn those homes periodically with having dual whiteboard field operations center whenever the Army sent me force work to do our missions to complete. I don't think I'll be able to do those missions from the living room anymore, but certainly thank you for letting me in and being just a bunch of part of this. A colleague from my days teaching ROTC once asked why I did this. The long days away from home and thankless intensity. I didn't have the words then, but I do now. I certainly didn't do this for power and recognition. I would have been happy to continue sweeping motor pools for the rest of my then limited time in the military as a National Guard lieutenant. Nor for pay. I grew up in a comfortable middle-class home and never wanted for anything outside the military. I did this because I've served alongside better people. who taught me that those with the ability to act, to make their own circumstances and those of the people they care about better, have responsibility to do so. They taught me it's better to suffer hell with like-minded people than enjoy heaven with strangers. But more importantly, they were people that invested in me, not only with money, but with time, with advice, with kindness, with frank evaluations, and with letters of support. People who saw something in me even who invested in me even when I refused to invest in myself. People who made my favorite stock price rise. To whom I owe a debt, and I have every intention of regularly repaying that debt back to them and then forward to the next generation of people after me, as long as it's far enough to wear this rank and beyond. To those extra hands on the hammer that got me to this place, and Joe to this place where we are today, this place where I never thought I would be, thank you for making me wrong in all right ways. I'll be followed by...
Is it Colonel Lowell? Colonel Lawrence? Good afternoon. My speech is not nearly as hard as Lieutenant Colonel Lowell. So I've known Lieutenant Colonel Lowell for about 18 years now. So you mentioned it, you read our bios, you see we kind of served in some of the same places, 36, 25th. I met him at OCS, and he made mention about how this is for our family members, as well as keeping this together as a family. And so he was right when he mentioned that he would have self-paid and I would have self-paid. And I reminded him that this isn't about you. This is about our family because I was reminded of that. But I told my wife, I was self-paid. She said, no, you're not. I heard that, right?
That's right.
Right? What about you, sir?
Good answer.
So my speech. So one, I'd like to thank every senior leader who has invested in me, pouring wisdom, guidance, mental toughness, and emotional support into me. I want to specifically call out people all over there on the list. Colonel Lenny Williams, we're not worried. I remember I was section and following my career, tell me about the next job, so he really does that. So I want to thank my mentor, Dr. Colonel retired Nick Johnson. When I was in the band, and I did not know what to do, and I was lost and dazed and confused, and everything was coming at you so fast. Dr. Colonel Nick Johnson gave me a sounding board, and he just let me find my bed. And so I want to thank you. To my daughters, Justice and Nyla, who are sitting over here to my right, or left, which way you see it. So I want to let you know that my soldiers and my peers and my colleagues who are called me Lieutenant Colonel, that you guys are just calling me Father. So treat me like I'm so silly and like I can't dance, although I try to do my best. To my wife, Michelle, 25 years we've done this thing called the Army. So we move through ups and downs and highs and lows, and appointments, counter-appointments, and counter-appointments. You've been by my side on the captain's career course, where I was teaching a 1-year-old Justice about unified lane operations. And every Tuesday when I was in IOE and AOC, we would take the business. None of this would be possible without you, and I can't say that. So I found my purpose in the Army, and I'm so thankful we get to continue to do this in this called the Army for the next one. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. One last round of applause for Lieutenant Colonel Williams and Lieutenant Colonel Bowman. please join me as after the ceremony to give congratulations to them. If you want, if you like pictures, there'll be pictures also at the end. And then the families have provided refreshments also at the end. This is the end of the ceremony.
Turns out it's a pretty love guy. Congratulations. That's all. Yeah, you're away. That's awesome. Okay. So, yeah. It's awesome.
Congratulations.
You know, I think this thing is a timer.
I know,